What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 3 different Grayscale trusts today. We're going to talk about BCHG, LTCN, and Horizen today at the request of SDFGFF is his name. Dead Ahead, and then Bree Mill. We're doing this for you guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it, my friends. Okay, so here we are. $5.65 for BCHG right now. It's crazy that it keeps moving lower, and it really does feel, I don't like using the word manipulated, but it really does feel manipulated. Look at how consistent that volume is. It's below average volume, well below average volume, and then these moves too are just consistent on the way down. It's crazy. It's crazy, but not so crazy, right? Here you are at 565. You moved down 6.7% yesterday. BCH itself didn't move down that much, did it? 6.7. Yesterday moved down, about 6 actually. Okay, so it did move down quite a little bit yesterday. You know, we're up right now. You're up about 2%. So I would assume BCHG is tracking BCH rather well right now. I would assume you get a bounce here. I don't think that you go too much lower. If you look at the daily RSI, I mean, you do have a lower low here, but you're at an area realistically where you bounced before. You could bounce now even a little bit lower here. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think that this is maybe manipulated, if you want to say that or not. I don't know, but it does seem, to me, it just doesn't seem real, and that's not me denying it, right? Not accepting it as reality. It's just like something seems weird here, and I do think the price is being suppressed, and I do think that in time we're going to see the repercussions of this, right? It's going to fly like really, really fast. We're at the precipice, you guys. The negative comments, the abandoning the ship, the hope is gone, right? For a lot of people, I've seen comments now over the past week that I haven't seen throughout this whole cycle, this whole bull cycle for crypto. People talking about selling out of Grayscale and that they're done, they're tapping out. It's generally in moments like this, when the volume's the lowest, when the moves are the least significant, right? You still got kind of higher lows here. It is a lower low there, to be completely fair, but higher lows overall. That's right whenever we start to move up, man. I don't know. It's like right when it's its most boring, right whenever there's the least bit of belief. The weekly RSI looks very bullish. It's actually a very bullish case. That's a good case right there for the upside in itself. The daily RSI here, you know, again, it's not the most bullish looking, but it is at an area that you found support at before. There's a little case to be made there, I suppose. 3-hour RSI finding higher lows, higher low here, higher low there. That's 2 higher lows, right? And then you've got lower low here and a lower low that's double bullish divergence. And as you're moving down, volume's dying off, right? All those things. You could even argue for triple bullish divergence. Maybe not actually. Never mind. I take it back. But still, I would think that you do move up from here. I think that you're at your low point. If you're not at your low point, you're damn close, man. And you're probably going to move, you know, from a high to a low here. You're probably going to see a decent retracement out of this move. I would think by the end of January, you're all the way up at about 17 to 1963. The targets have come down quite a ways, I would say, because, you know, Bitcoin Cash has underperformed. The whole crypto markets have underperformed for December. But let's actually look. You know, I'm basing that off of the fibs, right? We were thinking that you'd be up here by the end of January, but that's because we thought that you'd be up here by the end of December. So I moved the target down in that sense just automatically. But let's see if that makes sense, because I am thinking Bitcoin Cash will still be anywhere from 1,000 to 1,700 by the end of January. Let's just say 1,000, 127% up. BCHG here. It probably moves up more. So yeah, 190%, 245%. Okay, that would make sense, right? I think, you know, if it's going to grow 127%, seeing a 2x growth or less, that's not hard to ask out of these Grayscale trusts. If we were to see a $1,300 price or more, that's 200% there. So in which case the $19 price would make more sense. But then if it sees 200% growth, there's an argument to be made that we could see new session highs maybe around $30 or more. That could happen. And then of course, if we see higher targets than that, well, I mean, $1,700, that there'd be a case to be made for targets around $40 or higher, to be completely fair. But it all depends. I guess it does all depend on BCH. And at the moment, I'm holding strong to that $1,000 to $1,300 area at the moment. $1,700 is still on the table, but I don't know how likely it's going to be. Again, right? We haven't really done too much this December, but Bitcoin Cash can move up in a very short amount of time. It can move up very fast. So I'm not throwing out these $1,700 to $1,900 targets just yet. I want to see how we perform coming out of this move. I want to see what it looks like. If we're moving like this, okay, maybe $1,000 is where we go, right, by the end of January. But if we start doing things like this, or like what we saw back here, right, if we start doing things like either of those moves, then $1,300 or above, I think, are very suitable targets for Bitcoin Cash. And at which case, certainly $19 or higher would be a very suitable target for BCHG as well. But at the moment, just to play it safe and be conservative and to be quote unquote accurate, I think it's fair to guess 17 to 1963 by the end of January. And it's crazy because I say that for BCHG, it seems like I feel like I'm settling. You're at 565, talking about moving up to 1960 or higher in less than a month's time, and people are selling out here, man. I mean, you're gonna miss out. The time is now, and that's often how it happens. But anyways, that's BCHG. LTCN is the next one. Grayscale Trust. Higher lows here overall. That's nice. LTC, I just made a video on that, right? I think LTC is actually at its low. I do think that it is about to move up higher. It's moved up 30 cents since I made the video. I don't know. But I do think that it is going to move up higher. LTCN right now at the bottom of this trend. Higher lows overall. I want to look at the daily. Lower levels of volume, incredibly low levels of volume, the most low levels of volume that you've experienced in a while, and it's at this higher low. It's at the bottom of this trend here as you're moving down. I definitely believe you're going to eat this back up, right? If you look at the downside, let me just draw from a high to a low. Okay, ready? That's your downward move. High to a low. That's your downward move. High to a low here. That's your downward move. High to a low. That's your downward move. High to a low. That's your downward move. And then here's your upward moves. Ready? Up. Up, up, and you can see it. I don't need to draw it, but you can see it. The upward moves are definitely shorter than the downward moves are, right? They take less time. So what I'm getting at here is 5th of December is where the top was. You're at the 26th of December now. To get above this high, it'll take less than half that time. I would assume that by the end of the year, you actually make some decent strides. LTCN, you're probably back around 20 bucks or higher. But then going into January, you might look to break out of this trend to the upside, in which case we might be looking for a standard retracement of this overall move from a high to a low. I would expect you see a standard retracement based off this overall move from a high to a low. Just looking at this chart right now, and then we'll compare it to LTC like we did with BCH there. So looking at this, the target by the end of January might be something as low as 27 bucks to 31 bucks, or potentially 37 to 44 bucks by the end of January. Now let's see if we can reflect in LTC and come up with an idea here. So I do think that LTC will top somewhere between, what was it? It was like 250 or higher. Let's see, 253 or higher. Yeah. That's my thoughts. Current price here, 141% growth. Oh, that's good, right? That's some nice stuff there. 141%. That would put LTCN potentially as high as like 44 bucks. If it matched LTC, it would potentially put it at about 37 bucks. But if it saw more growth, if we saw that premium grow, anything from 44 to 54 bucks, I think is a very suitable target for LTCN by the end of January. If LTC moves up to 314 by the end of January, which would be the highest I see it going, that's 202%. Maybe LTCN could move up just above this high here. Maybe you do see targets around 70 bucks, but I'm not counting on that as much. I think 37 to 44 bucks is a suitable target. Really, probably 45 to $55 is the more suitable target. You're at 1397 now. It's about to happen. We're in that phase right now. We're almost there, guys. It's about to happen. It's less than we expected, and it's taken longer to get there, but overall everything, at least for the end of the cycle, is still on track, at least in my opinion. I do believe that both of these trusts, LTCN and BCHG, will see new all-time highs by the end of the cycle. Hi, Rafiki. And he's put his tail in my face. I made the noise of SB or SDFG FG's name. I went anyways. I'm talking, man. I'm just talking at this point. HSEN HSEN here looks very bullish, a little bit refreshing to look at compared to BCHG and LTCN, right? But bull flag here absolutely looks like you're breaking out. You're probably going to see a nice move. I don't like how the month has come down to close, but we have 4 days left in the month. It is very possible that you could come back up. Really, it's 3 days left in the month. Weekly RSI looks phenomenal. I like the price action and everything. You're like in a mini bull flag in this breakout of this overall bull flag. Yeah, you look great, man. I'd like to see this week. I'd like to see tomorrow close above 571. Let's look at Zen real quick. Zen USD, Coinbase. Okay. So you're moving down a little bit. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't close higher. That's okay. Whatever. That's okay. Maybe you move down. Okay. Well, so Zen, HZen, maybe you move down to finish the week. You hit the 786, rejecting. Yeah, oftentimes when you do that, actually, you do pull back all the way to the 382 or sometimes the 236. The 382 would be a more expected move. After all, that's a nice, like, kind of, higher low trajectory, pulling back to that 382. It would make sense. So HZen, you're at 547. I'm calling for a move down to about $4. And then going into next year, you probably do make a nice move. I would say anything probably above $10 and yet below $30. It's a big range, but that's the range you're getting. I don't know. It really depends on what Zen does. And this thing, its premiums can get a little bit crazier than the other two trusts that we've been talking about in this video. So I would say HZen down for now, probably around $4. You're at 547 now. $4 for support. At the very least, 474 for support. And then I would assume something around $16 or higher genuinely by the end of January. And you really could be at $30, man, by the end of January. I don't think you will be, but I do suspect something at least above $16 by the end of January. At a bare minimum, something above $10. But that's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.